There's a very interesting fan theory going around about Charlotte Flair's return to Smackdown, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out what's going on with Damage CTRL and more. Let's start things off with some of the rumors and fan theories surrounding Charlotte Flair's return. So, like we were discussing a few weeks back, Charlotte Flair's return is expected to take place sometime in the summer, since she's being advertised for Summerslam. Now, despite her being inactive, Charlotte was still a part of the WWE draft and was drafted to Smackdown. So there's no mystery of guessing what brand she will belong to when she returns. WWE provided that information there that she will exclusively belong to the blue brand when she returns. So the fact that Charlotte is returning to Smackdown has a lot of fans discussing the obvious biggest matchup there for the women's roster. And that matchup is obviously Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair. Bianca and Charlotte did meet with each other in late 2021 on Raw, but it really wasn't much of a feud and rivalry. It was just a one-off match between the two of them. But that match left fans wanting more and wanting to see a full-fledged program between the two top talents in WWE. Originally, fans expected for Charlotte to make her 2022 return on the Raw brand to confront Bianca Belair and possibly set up a match at WrestleMania 39. But that unfortunately didn't happen. Instead of facing each other for a title, Bianca and Charlotte were both walking into WrestleMania 39 as their brand's respective women's champions. But even though the match didn't happen at WrestleMania 39, the fans' discussion for this dream match and feud hasn't settled down at all. Bianca's made it known that one of her little side goals to accomplish in WWE is to defeat and pin all the 4 horsewomen in WWE. Bianca so far has pinned and defeated Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Becky Lynch. The last one left on the 4 horsewomen list to defeat is obviously Charlotte Flair. So we didn't see it in 2022. But what if we see it go down in 2023? What if Charlotte Flair makes her SmackDown return to confront Bianca Belair and make it known that she wants the title that Bianca Belair is holding? And it'll really create a really big matchup for the women's division. In one corner, you have the longest reigning women's champion of the modern era with Bianca Belair, who has defeated everyone. And then in the other corner, you have Charlotte Flair, the former 14-time women's champion, the ultimate title collector in recent WWE history. Charlotte may not have a long title reign in the books like Bianca Belair, but Charlotte has been known to easily pick up big wins and capture titles in big matches all the time. So she would pose a big threat to Bianca Belair. Of course, it's a big magnitude match, so there's really only 2 locations they could possibly pull the trigger at for this match. Those 2 locations being either SummerSlam or WrestleMania. That seems to be the most ideal event for this big dream match and feud to take place at. So be on the lookout for Charlotte's return, and if we could see this matchup take place shortly after she returns to WWE. Damage CTRL's tension has been one of the biggest things to monitor over the last few weeks, and their miscommunication with each other continues to get worse, which brings us to the May 12th edition of Smackdown and what went wrong there for them. This edition of Smackdown featured Bayley and Dakota Kai challenging Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the women's tag team titles. As always, the finish of this match only ended up creating more issues for Damage CTRL. Bayley sets up a little scheme towards the end of the match for Dakota Kai to distract the referee, while IYO hands over the title to Bayley so that Bayley can use it as a weapon on Liv Morgan. But IYO SKY takes too long, and Raquel ends up stopping IYO from handing over the title to Bayley, which also leads to Liv Morgan rolling Bayley up for the win. And all 3 Damage CTRL members have shocked and disappointed looks on their faces after that outcome. And they're all getting fed up because, like we mentioned earlier, this isn't a 1-week or 2-week strain of bad luck. Damage CTRL has been having months upon months of bad luck. You can possibly mark the beginning of their bad luck to when they lost their WWE Women's Tag Team titles to Becky Lynch and Lita a few weeks before WrestleMania. And then after that, they lost at WrestleMania. IYO lost her title at Backlash. Bayley and Dakota lost their title match on Smackdown. So it's just this trend of misfortune and bad luck that will possibly continue for Damage CTRL. Maybe they have some little false victories in the coming weeks, but overall, it looks like some more hard times are on the way for the group. The only real question left to ask is, who turns on each other first? Will Bayley treat Dakota and IYO similar to how she treated Sasha Banks and strike on them first? Well, the Sasha situation was a bit different. Bayley attacked Sasha out of paranoia because she felt like Sasha was eyeing the title and quietly plotting against her, so Bayley wanted to strike first. But in Damage CTRL's case, there doesn't appear to be any case of jealousy or paranoia. They're all collectively losing together as a group. But that doesn't mean that Bayley won't attack them. Bayley could still end up turning on Dakota and IYO out of pure frustration with so many losses. Obviously, Bayley isn't used to losing big matches and getting embarrassed like this over and over, so she could eventually snap. But Dakota and IYO snapping and striking on Bayley first appears to be on the table as well, and it'll be perfect karma and a full circle moment for Bayley's character because of what she did to Sasha Banks all those years ago. Now it'll be Bayley getting brutally betrayed by those who were close to her. It would be poetic in that regard, but it's a realistic option. Maybe Dakota and IYO truly feel like they've been holding up all the weight for Damage CTRL the whole entire time. Dakota and IYO won multiple titles during Damage CTRL's time together compared to Bayley's 0 titles won during their time together. So Dakota and IYO definitely have every right to reach their breaking point and believe that Bayley is the weak link, so they could kick her out of the group. And it's something we've seen a few times in recent WWE history, such as Retribution and the Judgment Day. These two groups did turn on their original leaders and kick them out of the group. And that same situation does make a lot of sense for Damage CTRL. In Bayley's mind, she probably puts all the blame on Dakota and IYO for constantly screwing up. But in Dakota and IYO's mind, Bayley is definitely the problem. So that's basically what's going on right now. Bayley is pointing the finger of blame on Dakota and IYO, but they're pointing it right back at her. Maybe Damage CTRL will try to ride out this wave of bad luck and see if it ends soon. But after it just continues to go in that negative route, maybe that's when we'll see the big breaking point from either Bayley or from Dakota Kai and IYO SKY. So it'll be interesting to see how all the fallout continues to unfold for Damage CTRL over on Smackdown. But what are your thoughts on today's stories with Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and Damage CTRL? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.